Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part number 30 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 10 Radiant Dawn. In today's episode, I have very much to do, including saving the game. I think that's important.
The Apostle Soniki, Empress of the Benyan Empire, does not wish war with the Laguz and searches feverishly for a peaceful resolution. However, many Imperial senators see the war not only as a means to expand their own influence, but also as a convenient opportunity to exterminate the Laguz once and for all. These ambitious senators meet with Vice Minister Lakain and vigorously advocate a full-scale war. Having seen their homeland invaded, Benyan's citizens desiring peace are now few and far between. Against the Apostle's wishes, Benyan's military is now fully committed to the war with the Laguz. Zelgius easily escapes the talons of the bird tribes meant to delay him and the Central Army. He arrives at the Sestol Plains to reinforce his weakened allies. The Laguz forces are surprised by the sudden appearance of this new enemy and seek counsel from Ranulf of Gallia. Ranulf orders a retreat with all speed, thus avoiding a full-on engagement with the Central Army. General Zelgius chooses not to pursue the fleeing Gallian army. Instead, he orders his army to hold position on the eastern banks of the Riban. Divided by the river, the two armies are deadlocked, able to do little more than glare at one another in hatred.
Chapter 3, River Crossing. Laguz Alliance Camp. This might be the end of our war. The northern and central armies have merged. A force of that size is too powerful for us. If Tibarn and Aesala can't help us, it might be a good idea to go back to Gallia and regroup. Convincing Scrimmer won't be easy, but I can't let our people get killed in a hopeless battle. Understood, Ranulf. This is your war, so I'll follow your orders. I have to say, though, retreating won't be easy. According to Soren, the Central Army has mobilized and begun marching on our position during the last few days. They finally brought in a competent commander, huh? Our path is blocked both ways. Hey! Hello, boys. It's good to know you two still hang out together. Tibarn, glad to see you're safe. But what happened? Didn't the bird tribes hit the supply unit? The Begnion Central Army is here, and they're marching on us. Talk later. Eat now. Sorry, but I gotta put something in my stomach and get some rest. How's Tibarn? He's resting inside that tent over there. Ike, did you see him? Yeah, they were all covered in blood. He's not hurt, so it must be someone else's. I have this awful feeling. A feeling that something terrible has happened. I really hope I'm wrong. Ike, Ranulf. Rayson, you're here too? Your Highness, please wait. I have to check on him. I'm worried about Tibarn. We're worried too, but Rayson can't just let him be for a while. Janov, Alki, what's going on? What happened to you out there? Aesala and the Ravens of Kilvis betrayed us? Again? I'm so mad I can barely see straight. The Ravens were informants. They told Begnion our battle strategy. It was a trap. The supply unit we raided turned out to be the Central Army itself. The troops were under the command of Begnion's most famous general, Zelgius. General Zelgius? This just got a lot worse. You've heard of him? I met him during the Mad King's War. He's powerful, experienced, and clever. One of the best generals of our time. Yeah, for a Bjork he was quite powerful, all right. Tibarn, while shifted, mind you, attacked the Zelgius guy. Zelgius didn't even budge an inch. But all of a sudden he stopped fighting and said, "We've delayed you long enough. If you cherish the lives of your people, return home at once." He said that? So the king made a decision. We flew night and day and reached Phoenicius, but it was too late. Save for the elderly women and children, they were all... I also heard what happened, and I just couldn't believe it. Aesala has betrayed us once again. I cannot believe he's played a role in wiping out Phoenicius. Hey, we're not wiped out yet. Huh? Tibarn. I'm alive and well. My people are few, but they still live. Phoenicius is still a country. Janoff Oki, you know what we must do. Of course. Yes, Begnion and Kilvis will burn for this. So, that's the whole story. Sorry we were late, but now we're here to stay and see this war out. Don't tell me you kittens are going to run off with your tails between your legs. I won't accept that. Of course not, King Tibarn. I'll get Scrimmer right now. A slight delay, but now that we've merged with the Hawk tribe, we have the strength to fight. Our goal is to cross the Riban. The core of our forces will ford the river and attack the Central Army head-on. Ranoff, you'll need to form a small unit of your best warriors and lead them behind enemy lines undetected. Can you do it? No sweat. We'll do some officer hunting and keep their leaders' attention on us. Good, but a distraction alone will not get us across the river. They've got the terrain and Zalgius in their favor. Bah! Use fewer words, Tiny Bjork. Tell us what we must do. Some of us have a battle to fight. Don't interrupt me again, Scrimmer. All these words may be the only thing that can possibly win this battle. As I was saying, while Ranoff and his men sow confusion in the rear ranks, a group of Hawk Legus will carry the Grail mercenaries south around the battlefield. We'll cross the river and make our way to the supply train, which also serves as the Senator's camp. Ah, I see what you're doing. You're going to involve the Senators and have them start messing things up. Precisely. Zelgius is the military commander, but the Senators have authority over him. If attacked, they will panic and request aid. He will be forced to return and rescue them. Zelgius is a soldier through and through. He will not disobey an order, no matter how foolish it might be. Once he leaves, their front line will crumble. That's what when you advance. Tibarn and Scrimmer will lead the charge. That's all. Is everyone clear on what they have to do? I still dislike Bjork tactics. I'd rather face my enemy and give him my name before I snap his neck in my jaws. But in order to defeat cowards, we must use the weapons of cowards. Let's go. Yep, sometimes you have to use the weapons of cowards to defeat cowards. It's unfortunate that that's the way, because men like me, and Scrimmer apparently, would prefer an honorable fight. Ah, now, info. Your strategist is something else. Does he have some kind of magic hat that he pulls all his crazy ideas out of? Well, I do pay him plenty for them. Soren said this mission would fail without help from the Phoenicius army. We're asking you to take a very big risk, King Tibarn. We can handle it. We can do anything if it involves teaching those vermin and Begnion a thing or two. Soren has even answered some of Scrimmer's more insane requests. He doesn't listen to a word I say, but when Soren talks strategies, he's all ears. Is that why he hasn't been complaining during the briefings? He says he looks forward to what the little strategist will say next. It looks to me like Soren's charmed his way into the most powerful position in this army. I'm glad to hear it. He's changed, hasn't he? Yeah, I think so. He still doesn't say much, but he's a lot more at ease these days. He used to be completely closed off, rejecting anyone who tried to get close. Like he'd locked himself away, all alone in his own little world. We all lost and gained something during the Mad King's War. Maybe it wasn't a complete waste after all. Do you think we'll feel the same way about this war when it's over? Who knows? We'll have to survive it first. Fair enough. I like that little conversation. Ike and Mist can increase support. It's really unfortunate that they do not get an increase to the attack parameters there. I could partner her up with Shinon. It's only temporary, so it's not really going to matter. Definitely going to have Har partnered up with her because they move much faster. You kind of want your units that are capable to get out in the open and faster and further away to have supports together as high movement units and low movement units with one another. That's at least my concept behind that. However, I do have quite a lot of managing to do, so while I do that, I'm going to bid you farewell, and I'll see you in just a few. Greetings, gamers! Welcome back. Yes, I am ready for the most part. I did want to forge. I'm going to be making a steel sword. This is in case I don't end up buying the floret, or even if I do buy the floret, I could use this with some other unit. I'm not going to be putting any crit on it like I did with Shadow. That was a bit much, I'm just going to say. I'm going to use a coin, of course. There is a chance that this could be fantastic, and I'm hoping it is. I always pick the middle card because it's the same regardless. Plus 10 hit. Not great. But it could be worse. I'm going to be calling this Sacred. That will go on Mist for the time being. That means that she does technically, even if it did not get any more might than 14, it has the same might as her floret, so there is that. I do have quite a lot of gold because I was just able to sell that statue fragment. Very good idea to get a hold of that. Definitely something I would strongly recommend bringing Heather for. Not great for really anything other than stealing a few things here and there, because thieves are just not good combat units in this game. Just not good at all. General Zelgius, the men are in position. Good work. It's becoming foggy. It looks like the Hawk tribe has joined with the main force, but I'm sure this fog will hinder them. I wouldn't be too sure about that. The fog might actually be a boon to them. We'll wait and see what move they make. General, we hear splashing. The Laguz Alliance is on the move.
The band's marching halfway across the river already. There's no point in waiting. Ah, well, enemy spot him soon.
Then it's time to fight. You should go.
Don't remind me. I hate flying. Anyway, give the word, will you?
No need. Our friends heard every word.
Finally, it's time. I've had enough of sitting around.
To wing, brothers! Keep up with me if you can!
Lord? It's nothing. I'm needed elsewhere. Keep them engaged until I return.
Yes, sir.
Well, well. Sorry to drop in unannounced. We thought it best to hunt the strongest prey first.
Of course. Interesting maneuver.
Will you draw your blade?
I trust you know who you face. Zelgius, commander of this army. If you're not worthy of fighting me, then you are only wasting my time.
I'm Ronolf. Right hand to Gallia's future king. Will that do?
We shall see. I will accept your challenge. And you're ready.
What is all that noise and at this hour?
The battle has begun on the other side of the woods, near the river.
Then tell Zalgius to wipe out the subhumans quickly and quiet down. I cannot sleep with all this racket. Don't you peasants know I need my beauty sleep? I should have you all flogged, you inconsiderate fools.
Wretched snob.
Sounds like modern American politicians. Oh yeah. Great. We're in, Soren. Let's go over the plan one more time. Our objective is to destroy the enemy supplies. The senators store their food and personal effects in crates. If we burn those crates, the senators will likely pull their troops back to protect their own hides. So while the Legus distract the enemy, we force the gate open. Storm inside and burn all the supplies? Exactly. We can also set their horses loose. That should add to the confusion. Agreed. Also, please try not to hurt the senators themselves. Harming them might cause us trouble later on, especially once the fighting is over. All right, we've got to finish before the fog burns off. Let's get this done. Attack. This is such a cool chapter. I do believe I'm going to have to bring... I might still bring Gatry again because of his ability to be a great help at times. I'm going to replace you two in the space. Actually, I think I'm going to have Titania up here. You can go there. You there. So this chapter is a very cool and unique one. There's a lot of tents that you can visit. All over the place. They have good items that you definitely want to have. I think actually there's only there's only 3 tents to visit. However, you have to burn all of the supplies. There's 1 supply here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 way up here, 1 over here, and 1 over here. Those are all of the supplies in this map. You have to burn them all. Now, there's a couple of hidden objectives. Like, for instance, they said that we could unleash the horses, and they would allow for some confusion. Don't do this. This is dumb. If the horses survive, you get bonus experience for them. Now, it's also true that if the senators that come out of these tents, if they survive, I believe there's one that comes out of this tent, and there will be one that comes out of this tent. If they survive, you get bonus experience points for them. It's a tricky task, though, because you really want the items they have, as well as the fact that, there's always the idea of experience points, but you kind of want them to stay alive in order to get the bonus experience points from them. This would be a good chapter to put Nullify on good old Har, so that he can deal with the Thunder Mages better, because there's Thunder Mages in key areas to keep him from just overwhelming and flying around and doing whatever he pleases. Now, this is the boss. Veona, I guess his name is. He has a Shade Scroll, which is super great. I'm going to be using that as soon as I get it. Well, as soon as I can use it. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else that can be obtained outside of the items on the senators. And of course, there will be reinforcements in this chapter. I believe they all come from these 2 spots on the top and bottom, potentially. Not fully sure on that. This is a fun map. I love this map. And without further ado, it is time to begin this river crossing. Supply burning nonsense. Of course, I'm going to be taking out you as soon as possible. think that's a plane. That guy doesn't move. I'm just going to leave Har here. And I might be able to get another KO with Mist. You just never know. 15 times 2. Yes, I will. That's awesome. So I'm going to do just that. 15 times 2. As long as Shinon doesn't crit here. Nice. Perfect. Floret for the win. She needs all the experience points that she can muster. Converse. And break the door. Yeah, it only has 20 health, so it's not like that would have been a difficult task. And then I'm going to take out, of course, you. Well, actually, I kind of can't. I could bet on a crit, I guess. And it did not happen. Oh, well.
Enemies in the camp! We're under attack!
How interesting. I never expected them to attack this particular camp. While the senators may deserve to be kicked around a little bit, I cannot let my general down. I shall protect this camp with all my power. Soldiers of Begnion, wipe out the bandits. Kill every last one of them. Lots of enemy reinforcements. And this might be a KO. Aw, not quite, but Mist sees a KO. Yeah, so I never let the horses loose. And here is the first senator. He has an Ashira icon. Of course, I want that for stealing. Want to steal it particularly. I'm going to wait right there. Killer bow. Perfect. Double perfect. Floret. Nice. That is... what is that? A rank already? Yes, it is. And her maximum rank, which is nice, but also not needed, even remotely, because she does not need higher rank. Atard, 20 times 2. That is perfect. He doesn't even get to attack. Nice. Very nice, in fact. I'm going to go here. Actually, I'm going to go here, equip the hand axe, burn, and then move one up. I halfway want to push Ike forward. Now, what about the range of enemies? I want to keep out of their range. But I would like to steal that Ashira icon next turn because, again, I am not going to be trying to KO the senators whatsoever. It's not a good idea. Bonus experience points from them is pretty significant.
And Titania is going to take out yet another Begnion soldier.
Wonderful that Har ended up equipping his hand axe there. Yeah, the senator is trying to run out that little hole in the fence. It's not really going to work for him, though, because I'm just going to go here and attack with the hammer. One-shotting, of course. Then I'm going to move here. Next turn, I have to move up to the left as fast as possible. I also have to with Titania, so that is something there. You know, I actually didn't need to put him there. Well, that's kind of a shame. Thank you for the Ashira icon. Now you can do whatever you please. Etard. That's not exactly KOing. Ooh! He just crit Ike. Wow. And obviously she's not going to KO you. Does this guy have a... Okay, he just has a steel sword. I wish I could equip her weapon on this turn, but also attack. Just not going to happen. So, I'm going to go ahead and attack the 1. And move right there. Alright, cool. So he decided to attack Shinon. Wasn't sure if he would go for mist or not. Didn't really matter, but it is useful. So the reason why I put pass on both Titania and Har is so that they can get through spaces occupied by enemies in this chapter, particularly this chapter. Now, it's useful in pretty much every other chapter, but what I'm going to have to do, because there is yet another senator, is I actually have to put Titania as far up as possible, specifically because if I do not, she is not going to be able to deal with blocking off the senator, whom I definitely want his white gemstone. Now, you get all their items from KOing them, which is good. It's kind of funny that he only has like a hammer to fight with. Okay. Wait right there. I'm going to attack you with the Steel Great Lance. This might let Mist KO you, which would allow Ike and Shinon to do other things. Perfect. Very perfect, actually. Steel Bow. Now, of course, both those supplies are burnt, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Etard, 20 times 2. Perfect, and he gets a crit. Ike is doing a fantastic job leading my army to victory, but I do have to heal him next turn, as he is going to perish. So going through these right bushes here, where the one senator is, or the bushes where Har is just not a good idea with any of your units, so I don't bother with that. I just go straight up to the left where Titania is, and I burn the supplies usually with Har, and I trap the senator, because it is the most intelligent thing to do. Okay, converse. Heal up. Perfect. This is going by swimmingly. I truly appreciate all of the wonderful strides my units are making to make sure that the enemies get lost pretty quick, right? Very nice, Shinon. And that's a KO for Ike. Nice. Didn't need the critical. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Burn. Yeah, so Titania and Ike both need healing. Now the Senator cannot move, which is nice. I'm gonna visit this house with Gatry.
You're the Laguz Alliance? Whoa, wait, please, I don't want to die for those useless, decrepit old senators. I'm getting out of here. You can take whatever you want from this stash. Thanks.
And I get the Blossom skill, which folks who are apparent, have apparent knowledge of Path of Radiance will know that this is a preferential skill. Personal skill, I should say. For Soth, and nobody else can get it because there is no scroll for it in the game. This reduces your experience points gains by half, but increases your growth rates by, I believe, 10% across the board. Now, it doesn't necessarily work exactly like that, because the way that you re-roll for growths in this game, as you did in Path of Radiance, it's more like 20% because of the re-roll. It can be useful, and typically I do find myself putting it on Ike because he has a lot of time before he promotes. So it's not a bad idea. In fact, it's going to be what I do. But it's also not something I recommend for pretty much any other unit in the game. And the reason why is because Blossom doesn't find very great use outside of that. Gatry is way behind. Doesn't really matter, though, because he's not going to be very much needed for the rest of this chapter. I will heal up Titania, of course. Oh my gosh, miss, that's perfect. Beautiful level up. Yeah, one thing I did definitely forget to talk about was more in depth on the boss. And I will, but it's gonna have to wait just a little bit. I think, yeah, you're definitely the better option for that fight. Titania, however, can keep the hand axe and visit this house.
What? Yes, I was ordered to keep the Lord's valuables neat and tidy, but the Lord, he ran away and, well, what's this? Oh, he told me it was very precious. Here, you take it.
A Master Crown. Just so happens to be on the unit that I would be using that on. And of course, I need a white gem. I need as much gold as I possibly can muster on this particular party. I can move here, and that is my turn. Imagine being doubled by a Dragon Lord. Or is it Dragon Master? I think it's Dragon Master. Nice dodge. Hopefully I can get Titania one more level. She's very close to it, actually. If I could, in this chapter, I would also still promote her in this chapter. I might as well give her the experience points anyway to finish, even if I can't get her the experience points in this particular chapter. I'll just do so with bonus experience points. Either way, she shall be promoted very soon. Because you are on a timer when it comes to the burning of the supplies of this map, you do have to be kind of quick about every little side objective you want to do. For instance, the stealing of all the items, like the Ashira icon and the white gems. That's 14,000 gold I just earned. Plus, I'm going to be getting the experience points, bonus experience points, from not KOing the senators, which is just a great idea. You would think this guy was the senator because he comes out with the senators, but, or as if he's one, but no, he's just a regular old light mage. However, with that being said, this is that time of episode that I am going to have to call it quits. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe, depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.